Hello, it's Melanie McClure.
And Scudio with the Ecstatic Hearts. And today for our Tantra talk, we're going to be talking about hands-free orgasms and other wonders. And what better place to do that than here at the Grand Canyon, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. And we got up at dawn here for you today so you can see all the beautiful natural lighting. And let's get into orgasms, hand-free orgasms and other wonders. How would you like to start, sweetie?
All right. So it's commonly held that orgasms only occur with direct stimulation of the genitals. Well, when you learn Tantra, you learn that's not entirely the whole truth. And
It still works that way, but there's more you can do.
And just by doing our daily practice, once it's in our bodies and like you get the energy, I can do my daily practice, and every exercise in my daily practice sends me into orgasms, all without using my hands, without even touching my my sexy bits, and it's really amazing. I mean, to know that you can just breathe and shake it off and do these various other tantric techniques and practices and start reaching this orgasmic state is pretty amazing. And once we do those practices and just like connect into the earth and just open up into it and breathe into it, I can reach these highly orgasmic states for long periods of time, like all night long, from dusk till dawn, and then some. And it's a conscious thing, so I'm consciously choosing to reach these heightened states of orgasmic energy and pleasure, and then I'm choosing to kind of like ground it and to like get settled and to come down from it.
Yeah, so explain what's happening. This works for men and women, but one of the things I've talked about before is men separate ejaculation from orgasm, and instead of just getting an orgasm and going to sleep, you have an orgasm, you have an you get excited, you have an energy orgasm. It tapers off a little bit, but then you can go right back into another one and another one. You start having energetic orgasms, and when both of you keep going and going and going before your energy is depleted, and then you choose to climax or complete or even ejaculate, you'll come down to here, but you're going to be at a higher level of orgasm you've ever been before, and it'll stay like this, and it'll start to drift off over time, but then you can like eat, dance, cuddle, whatever, but then you make love, bring it back up again, and so you keep riding this wave, and it gets to the point where you're in an orgasmic state, and so it's literally like your best orgasm ever, and then like times 10, and then they can last not seconds or even minutes, but hours, and now you're talking about the magic and how all that energy creates all these other benefits in your body. So one of the cool things that happens is when you're in this vibrant orgasmic state, everything becomes orgasmic. So you'll taste a strawberry, you'll have a taste-gasm. You'll hear an especially poignant song, you'll start crying, you'll have a sound-gasm. It's like
I can like
magic.
smell all the scents in my garden and have smell-gasms from just so deeply enjoying how good my garden smells.
And when you start cultivating this energy, when you start doing this on a regular basis and you start having this resonance, you start actually, your neuroplasticity in your brain starts rewiring your neural network so that you can experience joy and pleasure and orgasm at a whole nother level, and it's much easier to reach. So now we can actually go into orgasm directly from a hug, or from home, making sounds, or just a touch, or all sorts of things, or just breathing all by ourselves with the earth. And so what that's cool is that then it becomes not a measure of, okay, trying to get to the orgasm, but at what level, what frequency, what vibration do you want to resonate at? And the goal is, maybe to be in a constant state of orgasm. You just control it so that if you're orgasming too crazy, you can't be very functional. So you just want to lower it to function.
Yeah. I feel like I can just open it up or tone it down and just kind of direct it with the volume just by my breath. It's pretty amazing what conscious breath work can do, as well as some other practices and techniques. And one of the other really amazing benefits of this is that I can use this and conduct healing by amping up my own energy and helping to resonate with the person I'm working with, and connecting into their energy and sending it to different spots in their bodies, healing arthritis, helping to take away pain in the bodies, helping to accelerate healing of broken bones, various things.
We helped heal a deaf woman.
I'm always amazed, and I just open up and open up to source, being a clear channel to channel divine energy and let that run through me and connect to the person I'm working with.
And this is science, folks. Like when you visualize your hand, for instance, you can do this right now. Like think about your hand. Think about your hand. What's happening is blood is rushing, and the corresponding energy is moving to your hand, and then it'll get heavier or it'll start tingling. And you can do this for like 5 minutes, and you'll start seeing and then compare hands, and you can feel the difference. And so when you're moving energy in other people, you're calling forth their energy. You're increasing the blood flow, the circulation, the healing potential that's within all of us. What's the word? You're magnifying it, and this is where laying of hands and Reiki and Qigong and all these other things come from. Is also tantric energy.
Yeah. The other thing that works with all this awesome healing energy is learning to come into a relaxed state. So this Tantra practice has helped us to come into a relaxed state of being totally present and connected into source, connected into the earth, connected fully into ourselves, more conscious and aware of all of our senses and all of our parts of our body. And then when we come into union with our partners, to be really connected into oneness with our partners. And that oneness connection of coming into connection in oneness really does amazing things with energy and orgasms. And we can just sit in each other's lap and like yab yum and have amazing orgasmics.
Yeah. And it's one thing to intellectually know we're all connected. It's another thing to actually feel the connection to other people. When you really start getting good at this, and by the way, the person, in order to feel the energy, has to be open themselves. Melanie was naturally orgasmic, and she'd done things through, or I'd say tantric, and she'd do things like dancing and yoga. I had to work at it, so it took me a good year or so, maybe 2, before I really felt energy. And even then, I was like moving energy long before I really understood what it was going on. But now it's so visceral and powerful that it's like it's almost scary sometimes. But it's so with this energy, when you start moving it, you can actually feel other people like from across the room, and you can and then there's different tastes. Like some one of these other wonders that we have is like we can have friends and just hold hands and just go home or make a sound or something. We can start having simultaneous orgasms, or just from a hug. Sometimes we spontaneously go into orgasms just from hugging.
Yeah, and even group hugs could be amazing.
Yeah, group hugs.
Oh my God, you could start tapping into
or
each
snuggles.
Person's individual energy
and
around the hug.
They feel different. Like people have different energy signatures, and you can start feeling the difference. Oh, and emotions. The other thing besides physically healing yourself and others is you start emotionally healing yourself. One thing you'll notice is that emotion follows energy. So when you open yourself energetically and you start opening yourself emotionally, you clear out all the shame, the fear, the guilt, the baggage, all the stuff that is like interfering with us being in the present moment. So it's very healing, clearing from that perspective. And so just know that emotions might come up, and that's okay. Your job is to fully feel and express the emotions. And one thing that'll occur is that when you potentially is that you should start feeling other people's emotions. It's like, I'm gonna say, Sense8 is one of my favorite shows. It's the most tantric TV show out there, and it's more real than it is fiction. You can actually start feeling, experiencing other people's emotions, energies, orgasms as if you were them, and you can do it over any distance.
It's called empathic orgasms.
Yeah.
So it's just tapping into a deep level of empathy, a deep level of feeling your partner and feeling what they're experiencing, and it's often done. We teach with Tantra how to do it consciously. So you get to choose to tap in, you get to choose to separate, so you're not attached without the desire to be so.
And so other things that happen is once you have this energetic connection, especially if it's with your love of your life or a strong partner, is that it can, you start feeling the energy from further and further distance away. It's like, it wasn't just too long ago when I started feeling orgasmic energy from a person in another room. And so we can start feeling the energy through walls. Or another friend of mine, a guy friend who's doesn't have sex with us, he's just attuned to our energy. And when we had like an orgasm in our tent at a camp out, like call it orgasmic bomb, or what do you call it? it's like an orgasmic wave went out, and it was and it just went and it like hit him. He was like 40 feet away. He was having a conversation with his friends, wasn't even paying attention to us. Also, he's like, "Wah!" and he's like screaming along with us. It's like these crazy things happen where some people are so sensitive that even if you get close to them without them even knowing you're there, they'll start feeling the power of energy. Energy is so powerful, and your creative energy force is something most people don't even experience, don't take for granted. But it really can create miracles. And then we haven't experienced this or mastered it in any way as far as a long distance orgasms for like thousands of miles away, because we're never really that far apart from each other. But we have lots of friends who do that on a regular basis, where they'll have energetic orgasms from thousands of miles away, different countries, the ocean between them, and they will feel it. They won't even necessarily be on the phone. They'll call afterwards. So how was that for you? And and it's like energy is not bound by time and space, and you'll really start experiencing some of these crazy wonders by doing this stuff. Anything else you want to talk about wonders that we experience?
Yeah.
Right. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to get to the more spiritual aspects of things, but stands there.
Well, one of the other wonders I touched on briefly, but connecting into source, connecting into the earth, connecting into nature and divine energy. You get to, like, 1 week into my Tantra practice, I started orgasming with God and orgasming with nature and just feeling all the love that's around me and just having that, like, move through me all night long. It was really amazing. And once I tapped into it once, now it's so easy to tap into it again. And to talk about love. Love is everywhere. Love is in everything. And so it's just like being able to breathe in the love and to know how loved you are and how it's surrounding you, and really makes you want to take care of nature better, and really helps you to appreciate the beauty in nature and the beauty in these amazing wonders that we get to visit.
We're going to give you full details on that one and some other stuff next week. The other thing that happens is psychic abilities. It's like you start reading each other's minds. We take beginners in our Path to Ecstasy level 1 class, and people have never done any kind of psychic stuff before, and we have about 80%. Everyone has a psychic experience, but 80% of them are statistically impossible. Like we prove it's like, oh my God, I read all these random things about a person. It was spot on and it just shows you that all of us have this potential, and by energetically connecting it creates this this corridor, this to be able to connect with others. And also another thing's been happening to me just in the last few months, 2 months, is I've been going back in time. I didn't even necessarily believe in this, but I've started having experiences of my past lives. So this is another thing. We're sharing this stuff with you, not to brag, but to let you know what's possible, because some of you might be having these confusing experiences going on and not knowing what's happening. So we're telling you this is okay. This is normal for the tantric world. It's like this stuff can occur, and it can occur for everybody if you just practice this stuff. And so and then you can have experiences with and memories of other past lives. And I'll just share my crazy experience. This is just 2 weeks ago, and it gets crazier and crazier as we go. I was just having a hug goodbye with 2 friends, and then all of a sudden we start going into screaming orgasm and go, what is happening? And it felt this roller coaster ride, and we all experienced being in past lives together. And so we had like this soulgasm of recognition, and we started crying, and it was like, oh my God, I missed you. It's so great to see you in this life. And then it was like a timegasm. So I started feeling orgasms through the different ages. So this was like an Arthurian type of medieval orgasm. This was an Egyptian orgasm. It was just this wild ride of excited, powerful, orgasmic stuff, and really deep-hearted, connected love stuff, because it's like I felt my heart open and trust. It's like I've known these people for thousands of years, so I can even trust a little more and open my heart just a little more and heal a little more. And so it's really all about healing. It's about loving, and it's about feeling.
Yeah, and that reminds me is one of the things that's really awesome and amazing about Tantra and these hands-free orgasms is I feel like we're connecting soul to soul. So I oftentimes just feel like our souls are going into a dance together, and we can just simply be hugging or touching or just in the same room and just feel like our souls are dancing. And I can do this with other friends whom I'm just, close friends with, and we can just feel our souls dance whenever we just like put our foreheads together or hug or snuggle or hold hands. Simple things, And it's so incredibly powerful and amazing.
All right. Well, that's all we have for this episode of Tantra Talks. And we'll just do a little scan to see the rest of this amazing canyon. And we really enjoyed seeing you. Oh, and this is our friend Melanie. Can you see her? You say hi. And we're just on our way to the California Tantra Festival. So come join us in a few days if you are leading this live. Bye bye.